Hello everyone, I'm Sophia Dries, and in this video lecture we are learning module 8.1, which is Introduction to Qualitative Research, and this module is from Introduction to Nursing Research online course. So let's begin with the specific objectives of this module. The objectives for this module are define key features of qualitative research traditions. And the second objective is discuss the use of qualitative research within the nursing discipline. Now, we will talk about key features of qualitative research. So the first feature of qualitative research is that it is a form of social inquiry. So how? Researchers use qualitative approaches to explore the behavior, feelings, and experiences of people and what lies at the core of their lives. So if we take an example of different qualitative approaches, let's say start with ethnography. So ethnographer researchers focus on culture and traditions and customs, while grounded tourists investigate social processes and interactions. And if we talk about phenomenology as a qualitative research approach, so phenomenologists consider and eliminate a phenomenon and describe the lived experiences of people or the key informants. So all these diverse types of qualitative research are a form of social inquiry. To make it more simple, I would say the main focus of qualitative research is to understand the way people make sense of their world. The aim of the qualitative research is also to understand, describe, and interpret social phenomenon as perceived by individuals, groups, and cultures. Another key feature of this qualitative research is that it has inductive approach. So inductive means researchers move from the specific to the general. So from the data to theory or any analytical description. So on the other hand, they don't impose any ideas or follow-up assumptions, but give accounts, detailed accounts of reality as seen or experienced by key informants or the study participants. Another feature of qualitative research is amic perspective. So what is that? So qualitative approaches are linked to the subjective nature of social reality. So they provide insights from the perspective of participants, enabling researchers to see events as their informants do. They explore the insider view. So qualitative research is all about how the world is experienced or seen or perceived by study participants. Nothing will come from the researcher's point of view. It means that researchers attempt to examine the experiences, feelings, and perceptions of the people they study, rather than immediately imposing a framework of their own that might distort the ideas of the participants. So they uncover the meanings people give to their experiences and the way in which they interpret their experiences. These are few examples of qualitative-based research questions in the context of nursing or healthcare. So the first question is, what are the lived experiences of patients suffering on hemodialysis with end-stage renal disease? So when we study how people make sense of their experiences and sufferings, nurses and other healthcare professionals or researchers also gain their experiences and perspectives about the care and treatment that they are receiving, and researchers are able to evaluate management and self-management of illness and health from both the professional and client perspectives. So all the researches based on the clinical areas are really very significant in qualitative research to understand the perspectives and experiences of patients and their family as they are experiencing those illnesses. The second question example is from academia. So it's, what are BSEN students' perspectives regarding online versus in-person classes at a private university in Pakistan? And the third question is, what is the role of Muslims' worship plays in facilitating cultural identity of Muslims? So these are the few examples that can be answered, examples of research questions that can be answered using qualitative research. So I have an activity for you. So the activity is about, could you think of an example question scenario from your clinical experience or observation that could be answered through qualitative approach? So like you work in your clinical area and you come across different scenarios and situations. So sometimes you feel and experience that there is a situation that you wanted to know the answer, and you think that could be answered by using qualitative research. So spend at least 5 to 10 minutes and think of a scenario that can be, think of a research question and a scenario that can be answered by using qualitative approach. Like I have given you a few examples. You can think of similar examples in your practice area, maybe. Wow, I have another activity for you as well. So now I would like to ask you to answer of these two questions. So what I did, I posted two research questions here on this slide, and you have to, these are the same question that I presented as an example on the previous slides. So for this activity, you have to think of a particular qualitative research approach that can be used to answer these two questions. So I am again repeating the questions for you. What are the lived experiences of patients suffering on hemodialysis with end-stage renal disease? So here the researcher is interested to explore lived experiences. The second question is, what is the role of Muslims' worship plays in facilitating cultural identity of Muslims? So here, researcher is interested in exploring cultural identity of Muslims. So these are two questions. I understand that we haven't talked about details of different types of qualitative research in detail yet, but definitely we will talk about it in later series of lectures. But I have given you a little bit of explanation on types of qualitative research. So if you have a hard time in getting answer of these two questions, there's a hint for you on the slide. You have to go back and listen again what I explained on slide number 3, and that can probably give you an answer which specific type of qualitative research can be used to answer these two different research questions. So all the best for you. These were the references that I used to make this presentation. If you have any question or concern, please post it for us to answer you. And thank you very much for listening.